Hey, what's up guys? Ian here. Another week of vaults. I have a good amount of choices as usual. Two characters are missing their 15s, unfortunately, because I kind of waited till the last minute, and then for whatever reason last night on Monday there was not really much options. I don't know if it's because the season's kind of in that final stretch, so maybe people aren't really doing 15s, if they are still playing, they're pushing super high, or if they're just getting an alt, a little bit of gear to help close the gap for next season. They're maybe just doing valor farm or just 10s or something. So I actually wasn't able to find 15 groups on two of my characters last night, but regardless, I should still have some choices. I guess anything's better than nothing. Worst case, I could get a couple tokens for a socket, towards a socket or something like that. No real updates this week. I guess if you care about my personal life, I started a new job, so a little tired just because, it's a new schedule. So I'm still kind of getting used to that. It's only been 2 days. I started on yesterday on Monday. So hopefully by next week, I'm kind of more in the groove, more used to the schedule, more used to the commute and kind of how to plan out my day. So I'm not so tired here and there. So, okay, tier. I already have gloves that I would like to keep and upgrade. I wonder if it's worth playing around with a 5th piece so I can kind of mix and match these as needed. That might be worth it. And this late into the season, I guess if I'm not close to okay, I can actually get a socket, so this would be 6 tokens. So I will actually grab a socket, but I think there's only going to be 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 weeks left in the season, so maybe next week would be my last kind of go at any tokens, and then the last 2 weeks I'd probably just pick loot, even if it's just for transmog or something, because the tokens are going to be pretty worthless in a couple weeks, and then sockets I'm going to re-socket everything for the new season. So if I can't get a socket in the next 10 days, I probably will say screw it and just get transmog, or just get, like I said, maybe a tier piece just to fool around with, or an offset piece if I want to go ret for this character, for example, or something like that. So maybe keep that in mind. Maybe that's a little tip there. If you forgot that the season is quickly approaching its end, maybe kind of think ahead that any upgrades now are kind of extremely marginal. So it's not a bad idea to just kind of get whatever you want to play around with, or just get something like I said, maybe if you just care about transmog, you can get some transmog. Yeah, Resto. Or I guess you could get tokens and catch up on, I'll show you guys here in a sec. Oh, okay, a one-hander. Oh, this is also a one-hander, so I don't have the offhand. God damn. Exact same stats in the exact same slot. What the heck, man? Oh, sweet. Yeah, I have 4. Yeah, so that'd be 2 sockets. Okay, I'll take that. But yeah, what I was saying was, maybe if you don't want a socket, because I don't think the sockets are going to hold much value considering there's only a couple weeks. You can catch up on Renown. Renown's super easy, so it might be inefficient to spend your tokens on Renown. I guess if you care about ciphers for upgrading your Puck or doing that kind of Zera's Mortis stuff, kind of that's for old Korthia. Genesis modes 25 I would not do this under any circumstance. I would take literally anything else. You can farm for 25 Genesis motes in about 4 minutes. Reputation might be worth it if you're behind on rep for whatever reason, or if you're trying to work towards those, what's the word? The exalted caches. Cosmic Flux, I don't know if that's worth it. 500 is not very much. This gold thing is pretty decent, especially if you don't have a lot of gold. That's something to keep in mind. It is 3 tokens though, but it is, according to Wowhead, it's anywhere between 3 and 6k gold. So, I mean, not a ton of gold, but like I said, if you don't have a lot of gold, or if you want to keep WoW as, you know, free to play as possible, and you're super opposed to buying a token, I mean, 3 to 6k gold, you know, average it out, call it 4.5k gold. You know, I mean, that adds up if you have a couple characters and you have a bunch of tokens you don't care about. So, I mean, it can add up, but just keep that in mind. Honestly, even just a couple thousand gold might be worth more than certain pieces of gear this late in the season. Like I said, unless you kind of have something to use them for. Okay. Yeah, I think I might actually take this because I can catalyze it, and that would free up my unity to kind of move around if I needed to, and I'm not close to a token, so I will take this, go and catalyze it, and then I would have all 5 slots to kind of play around with, so that's good. I'll take that. So nothing super exciting on the Alliance side this week, but nothing's ever really that exciting on the Alliance side, I feel like, for my luck. Slowly getting towards the upper level of gear on a couple of my Horde characters. I watched all of The Boys, season 3. Highly recommend. A good show. Very good show. And while I was binging that, I did Theater of Pain about 14 times on this Warlock to get a chess piece to catalyze. And as you can see, I was unlucky. I didn't even see it drop for anybody, not even just myself. So if I could get a chest piece and finally get 4 set on my Warlock, that would be pretty cool. And no chest. Okay. Pants useless. Ring crit haste. Pretty good. Verse master useless. Or I could just go right into a socket. I don't want to. This might be decent, but I really don't want to farm Valor, especially this close to the end. That's another thing. If you don't have your items upgraded at this point, I would maybe try to do that this week. Otherwise, I mean, you're going to be farming Valor, spending time on something that's going to be replaced very quickly when the new patch drops. So, depending on how you value your time and how much of a completionist you are, you can say, well, I at least ended the season with fully upgraded gear. But personally, I think your time could be better spent in other places. Maybe, like I said, making sure your characters have all their renown on whatever covenant you plan to play. You know, if you're trying to get a mount, honestly, time spent farming a mount, I think, would even be more effective than farming Valor with only 2 or 3 weeks left in the season. Maybe farming materials, because I don't know if you guys have seen that they are planning to make the auction house region wide for crafting materials or consumables and stuff. So yeah, crafting materials and consumables. So I'm not sure the effect that's going to have, if that's going to make everything more expensive or cheaper. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be how that's going to play out. I do actually have a belt that I switched this with. So yeah, that's a big upgrade. Saves me some valor. So that's pretty cool. And I wouldn't even gotten a socket, so excuse me. Yeah, I'll take that. Replace my Havoc set belt. Let me just switch the yep. Oh nice, and it's even the same exact belt, yeah. Okay. So that saves me like $2,000 right there. Okay, take that. What else has been new in WoW? Yeah, the auction house is merging region wide, so that I think that'll be a good thing, especially if you're in a dead realm, because then people won't be able to price gouge you. But if you're on a high pop realm and your main profit is selling, that'll probably actually make your profits go down because now you have even more competition. So yeah, I don't think it benefits the farmer much in any situation, but it kind of always benefits the purchaser. But I may be wrong. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. Oh, I got that last week. Oh, speed. Haste Mastery Cloak. Verse Mastery. Okay, so yeah, I will take this. Because as a DK, you want as much haste as possible for your rune regeneration. Especially with all the compounding effects of your tier set and your legendaries as blood, you know. The more rune regeneration you have, and then your dancing rune weapon increases your rune regeneration, and then you can just spam more heart strikes, and more heart strikes means that it extends the duration, and everything kind of builds off itself. So every point of haste is just like it's worth more than it appears on paper because it has so many interactions that just kind of build on each other. So I would make sure if you're playing Blood DK, try to get a bit of haste on every piece of gear if possible. And I believe your secondary stat would be, or your second priority stat would be Verse, but I'm not sure the Superman max meta. Because Mastery creates that little absorb, but it's only physical damage and it's only percent of your heart strike or your death strike. So, I mean, it's nice, but I'm not sure if it outweighs Verse or not. So if you're super concerned about min-maxing, I would do a little more research yourself. Ooh, a shield. Okay. Transmog I don't have. Oh, it's because it's from Tazavesh. So I lose a little bit of Verse, but I would be able to say I have a 278. But I don't have a 278 weapon. And then speaking of transmog, and then speaking of gems, yeah, considering it's a tough one. I might even take, well, this character I feel like has a lot of gems, yeah. Actually, a gem would be worthless on this character, so I have to pick something. Or I guess, like I said, I could get the gold, or get renown on a covenant I don't have renown on. I don't really want Crit Mastery. Although it would make number go up. It would make number go up. And sometimes that is worth it in itself. What does this look like? Yeah, it's like a cartoonish version of the Algalon dagger. Maybe take this. Just because it's a 278. Stats are a little different, so maybe in different situations it would be worth it. Number didn't go up, damn it. Must have been a super marginal fractional change. 270. I gained 11 intellect. Maybe I'd put it on. I will say, if you haven't played Survival Hunter, I highly recommend. This has been my most fun character to play every week. I also have the 4 set, and I also have double legendary, so if you're just now starting a Survival Hunter, it may be a little too late for you, unfortunately, but if you have one in progress, or you have one that you maybe haven't played as much, I would urge you to give them some love, because it is a lot of fun, and it's gonna get nerfed next season, so kind of enjoy it while you can. But it is, personally, I find it extremely fun. So perfect. Exactly what I want. Saves me some valor. Awesome. That is a fantastic pull. No questions asked. Instant equip. Let me just get rid of that lower version. See, I'm only 267, but man, I do so much damage. It is insane. Pretty much every dungeon I'm the top, unless it's, except maybe in a tyrannical week. The overall I would not be top, only because single target boss damage for survival is kind of, especially when you're 267, that's when it kind of starts to, your lack of gear starts to show at that point. But trash pulls, regardless if it's tyrannical, or trash pulls if it's fortified, you will be top damage as a survival hunter every time. It is fun and easy, and there's a lot of buttons to press, and at the level I play, it seems to not even matter what of those buttons you do press. You just press everything, and it's just like damage just comes out of every orifice. So it is a lot of fun. It's a pretty quick spec. Your cooldowns aren't too long, so it's pretty quick. Ooh, haste verse, hell yeah. I don't know if I have a main. Did I ever get a main hand? Maybe in the bank? I feel like I did at one point get a main hand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was sick. Double haste verse. Then I lose my crit. 2% crit as frost is a ton. Because again, it's more than it appears on paper, because you have the whatever you have as frost, you have what am I looking for here? Yeah, multiplies your crit chance by 1.5 plus 50. So that 2% crit is actually 3% crit. So losing 3% crit as frost is a lot. But I'll take this for my fire set. And maybe just to play around with, because 278s is a lot more intellect than a 262. So maybe it'll be worth it anyway. I'd have to try it for a dungeon or two and see how it feels. But then I guess there's also the drawback of losing 3% crit is not just a damage loss numerically, because also I see Vayne's cooldown reduction per crit. All I see Vayne's is active, your crits reduce its cooldown, so lower crit chance, less likely to reduce the cooldown, so his cooldown is essentially longer the less crit you have. So I'd be losing 3% crit and losing, or I'd be losing 3% crit and increasing the cooldown of my main cooldown, essentially. So don't know if I would use that for Frost. But Frost is a lot of fun too. I said Survival Hunter is the most fun. Honestly, for us, it's probably second place. And if you have a 6-month sub or a 6-month recurring sub, you get this cool mount for free. It's just it's kind of just a reskin Cloud Serpent, but it's a little smaller. And honestly, I kind of like that it's a little smaller. I don't know why. I always like small mounts a little more because they don't take up as much of your screen and you don't get stuck in the doorways when you're out questing. And I don't know, the animations just look a little tighter. It's not big and in your face and stuff. So I think it's a pretty mount. Again, it's free if you have a 6-month sub, so no complaints there, but I know some people don't like that they put, you know, high quality or high definition, high resolution mounts behind a paywall, even though I guess you could argue this is like kind of a paywall, but kind of not, because I mean, if you're playing WoW, you're probably going to pay for 6 months either all at once or cumulatively anyway, so it's kind of like more or less it's kind of free as long as you're playing. But I'm sure they'll also add it to the store if you don't have this sub, so I'm sure it'll be added. Oh, it already is. So $25. So yeah, I can see how it's a little frustrating if you maybe only play month to month, or you only play for 2 or 3 months and then you take a break for 2 or 3 months, and then you kind of like, well, that mount's pretty, but I don't want to pay $25 for it. So I can see how it's frustrating. I can understand that. I'm not sure I have a good solution, because I'm sure the prices here are helping subsidize our subscription. I feel like if the shop didn't exist, maybe our subscription would not be $15 a month, and it would maybe be $20 or $25 a month. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this shop is purely extra profit. I'm not sure. I don't know the exact accounting details of World of Warcraft, but I can see how it'd be frustrating. So I definitely understand people who make that argument. But I think it's cute, cool mount. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Oh, I guess another update for anybody who cares and is still watching. I did make an ASMR channel. I've gotten a lot of comments on almost every video that you have a really cool voice, or you have a really soothing voice, or you should do ASMR, or this is like World of Warcraft ASMR. So I appreciate those comments. Those are very encouraging and nice. So I did take some of you guys up on it, and I made a small alternate channel of ASMR while I will be reading. I wasn't really sure what to do because I don't like react to ASMR. Like, it doesn't really do anything for me personally, so I'm not really sure what I would be looking for because I don't experience it myself. So I will just be reading on the other channel, maybe poems or short stories or stuff like that for now, because I don't really know what else to do. You know, if I don't know, I kind of want to maybe do like just speaking ASMR. I'm not really interested in the chewing and the licking and the smacking and the whispering. I feel like that stuff's kind of, I don't want to shame anybody, but I feel like that's almost kind of like a sexual thing or like a fetish thing when a cute girl is ASMR and it's just her like licking and whispering into your ear. That's always been, to me, that's always come off as maybe a thinly veiled fetish rather than relaxing ASMR response. But maybe I'm just being judgmental, and I apologize for that. But yes, I do have a new spoken word, soft spoken, I'm not sure how you want to clarify it, ASMR channel for anyone interested. I can add a link in my description of this video. So that's all the updates I have for you. Like I said, I do have a new job. It's not too tiring, but it is a little bit tiring. But like I said, I should always be able to maintain at least a vault on these 9 characters. Maybe add 1 or 2 in the future, maybe next season. Hopefully add more choices. But again, that will come with, or that will depend on how much free time I have with work and real life. So, I will stop rambling. I enjoy rambling, but I will stop. So, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good vault. Mine was, I'd say, overall pretty good, even though I just got some sockets. I mean, getting sockets are better than just getting partial sockets. So I'd say overall this week was pretty good. I got 3 more weeks to see if I get any Giga Pog vaults, any Omega Lol Sheesh Fire Lit Fam vaults, and we will see how the season ends. So best of luck if you're still pushing, best of luck if you're still searching for some items, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.